Hello, The Spill is moving to its own YouTube channel and we're taking all of the celebrity drama and pop culture deep dives with us. So click here to subscribe so you don't miss our daily entertainment news updates. From Mamamia, welcome to The Spill, your daily pop culture fix. I'm Laura Brodnick.
And I'm Ksenia Lukic.
And coming up on the show today, Chris Evans has been trying to hide a big movie role from us, but we are onto him. That man cannot lie. Plus, a photo of Kate Middleton, or Princess Catherine as she is known now, caused absolute uproar over the weekend, and we're going to get into that. But first, the VMAs, the Video Music Awards, are happening as we speak. The red carpet is in full swing as we record. And because of that, we've got Mamamia's pop culture and social editor, Tina Burke, here, because you're always lurking around all the corners of the internet and seeing what's going on at events like this. So you're our eyes on the ground without being on the ground. You're our eyes on the internet.
Yes, I love to be on the .com. I'm always there. Checking out gettyimages.com.au. Love it.
You just have that saved. It is the first thing
it's
you
the first thing I
scroll.
see in the morning, and then I open up all my apps and I'm like, what next?
All right, well, don't give away all your secrets, especially if it's
trade
Getty, because
secrets.
I was hoping it'd be something more than looking at Getty Images, but
Look, I
here we
have
are.
15 browsers open of every major US publication. I'm checking them nonstop. But yes, the VMAs today, very exciting.
I feel like the VMAs is one of the red carpets where it's like you get the craziest looks. Like I'm talking like way back where little Kim was wearing pasties and that just like broke before the internet, and it's always been a red carpet where people kind of
You
go
can
a
let
little
loose,
nuts.
yeah, right? Like the Lady Gaga iconic meat dress.
Yep.
It's had some of the big moments. And even the stars who don't really dress crazy usually, that's their moment to like step it up a little
Yes,
bit.
which I love, because as we've said, everyone's getting a little bit samey on some of the big red carpets because they're so worried about putting a foot wrong. Everyone's using the same stylist. Everyone's doing old Hollywood drag. They all look the same. So at least the VMAs, we see some different things. So who are the big stars who were there and who didn't turn up? Who do we hate?
Oh, I mean, hate, such a strong word. Oh my God, Laura Brodnick.
Trying to infuse some drama into the event.
The VMAs can either be like the most star-studded day on the planet and like
Yeah.
everyone's there, like Beyonce, everyone, Taylor, whoever. And then sometimes the VMAs is like, 4 people and the rest, they're for the youths, and that's okay.
Okay.
But
Hey, we're for the youths too.
we love the youths. Look, I'm on TikTok. I know who's cool. But some of the big ones today are Sabrina Carpenter, Doja Cat, Ariana Grande looking very chic, and then Lady Gaga wasn't there. She was there. Oh, she's there. Now she's on a plane. So those were the big stars of the day.
Okay, so we'll get into that. But why? So people thought Taylor Swift was going up until the last minute, right? And then a statement came out that she was not going to be there, just in case fans were getting too impatient.
And I do respect her decision to not go. It makes me very sad, but I know that I'm getting an album in like T-minus 20 days. I can't count.
But would she go if she wasn't nominated? Because
She
sometimes she
was
does.
nominated for Artist of the Year, which I thought she would have won.
Yeah, I
Which
think
she
obviously
didn't.
she picked up massively last year. Like she won so many awards. Any year she's in like an album release cycle, that's the year she tends to win. She goes whenever she wins, and then like, because they obviously are like, you're going to win, come along. And she goes along. But the thing they've done the last few times she's gone is they've literally had a Taylor cam. They've had a camera that has followed her every move. Like she gets up to go to the bathroom, she talks to someone, then there's lip readers. They watch her every move as she dances and gets drunk and drunker because she loves to have a boogie.
That
at the
is my
VMAs.
favourite part of the show.
My fave part, but I wouldn't go if there was a Taylor cam on me 24/7.
Yeah, especially if she's not nominated for all the big awards. She's out of that album release cycle, so she could also be accused of taking the spotlight away from everyone else.
Yeah.
Remember she disappeared mid-ceremony last year, and like they almost
like,
called,
where did
they
Taylor
almost
Swift
called the
go?
police on her.
We were like, what happened to our diva? And she was probably just backstage. But yeah, there's all eyes on Taylor when she goes anywhere. And I think as we saw at the Grammys this year, like sometimes she plays in and she's like, fine, I'm going to have a great time. But sometimes people really hate her for it. And right now she's gearing up for an album to come out. I just think she's like, whatever, I'll have my fun next year.
So fair.
Okay, so there was this guy on a yacht, and then he brought his girlfriend. Sorry, that's my Uber Eats order. So I did this because while we were researching for today's app, I was like, I need groceries. I need to do my top-up shop without the shop, because the last thing I want to do is go home, pick up my 2 gremlins, take them to the supermarket, have them disrupt everybody, have everyone think that I'm a terrible mother. So I just thought this would be way easier.
No, this does sound easier. I'm going to do a top-up shop myself after this because you have inspired me.
Okay, we should probably get back to the show. Well, we can talk about then my favourite, Sabrina Carpenter.
She looks so good.
Oh, my God.
It's very Jessica Rabbit with the red and the purple.
It's very like that sort of leaning into that sort of 50s Hollywood glam with the feather boa and the really tight red dress. I mean, I'm loving her at the moment. I think I'm a brand new Sabrina Carpenter stan.
Yeah. And hopefully her performance will be like the biggest one of the day.
She's the big star of the night, right?
Yeah.
With her album release and her show. Yeah, I was really interested to see what she would wear because the whole kind of naked dress thing, which she doesn't do that much, but that's so over now. Like people are just like, the more skin you show, the more kind of tired it feels. But then everyone's doing that really old Hollywood over the top, so it almost looks like, not like drag, but like they're in a costume. Yeah. And that's always been her look. Yeah. She always does like the huge hair, the huge makeup. Like she looks like a tiny escaped beauty pageant contestant. All the time. And it was like, how do you make that look fresh when you do that all the time?
You add a purple boa.
Yeah, the boa, but also
and you add a sheer element.
Yeah. I guess the red lace was because she usually goes like a cream or a white or a neutral.
She does love like a very light pastel colour.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. So it's a bit more bombshell. For me, Ariana Grande, I love you dearly, Ari, but she's still in her Wicked era. So
because the new movie's
coming out. So like she's still doing those, like she's doing like, it's like a black and pink polka dot. There's a peplum element, but she was styled by Law Roach. So she's gone back to Law, famously the man who styles Zendaya.
Yeah.
So she's looking very Wicked era Ariana Grande, but she's having the time of her life so far.
She was having a great time.
Yeah.
Well, she was sitting next to Lady Gaga when Gaga won her award, and they just looked like they were having a blast.
And
they really looked like complete opposites because Gaga was in like this full black
poofy thing.
Yeah. Like full Gaga.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walking with Law Roach, the man who said he was retiring from being a stylist, a celebrity stylist, uproar across the world, and who has not retired at all from being a celebrity stylist because he styles Ariana, he styles Zendaya soon. What he meant, I think, was that he was stepping away from that being his only kind of thing that people knew him from because now he's doing like the TV hosting and everything else.
Yeah, and I think he was like, I'm stepping away from certain celebrities who want to work with me and I'm going to cherry pick who I want to work with, which fair enough, Law.
I do love that man. He just says whatever he wants. But yeah, Ariana Grande in like all the current trends, polka dots and a peplum.
And there's like a bubble element to the peplum.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
it's like
she's doing the trends.
Trend on that tiny girl. Yeah. Love her.
And then, one of my favorites, Doja Cat. Like she's in this Balmain gown. She has a big bejeweled lipstick purse and then she pulled out a lipstick and took a bite on the red carpet of the lipstick. I'm like, great. We've gone meta in this lipstick world and I love it.
It was very like 80s, this outfit, like Balmain, like a, suit kind of almost Chanel-y tweedy look. Big hair and the lipstick moment. I am questioning if she spat that out or swallowed it.
I think it was an edible lipstick from what I saw because she ate it and swallowed it. So it was like a candy in the lipstick and that was her, how like on the red carpet, like you have some little shtick that's your moment.
Yeah.
It made me then think of those studies that have been done that every woman in her lifetime eats 5 lipsticks because the amount you put on your mouth and when you like rub it in that you consume it. And I'm like, she's just getting a head start.
You would consume so
I've
much
consumed
lipstick.
at least 10 lipsticks
so it's like
in my lifetime
you're just
already.
basically Doja Cat. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm a constant lip licker.
Hot.
I know,
cool.
But I'm always like, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this sounds gross. But yeah, I feel like I would be in your camp as well.
Yeah, so she's just getting a head start on that.
She's taking it
That's
further.
actually quite demure of her. Like usually I thought the carpet was less stunty this year.
It was, yeah, for sure. Except for my favourite, which is Hacks and Too Much Star Megan Stalter.
I was about to say yes.
Yes, who showed up in, I don't even understand the ensemble. But she had a bedazzled Dunkin' Donuts cup and she was wearing like a white paper crown and then a white dress with like a corset and like a circle skirt that wasn't attached to her body. Yeah. It was fun. But intriguing.
It's that character so Meg Statler, if anyone doesn't know, is the breakout star from Hacks, but also the star of Too Much.
Yeah.
So when she was on the Too Much press tour, she would go on the press tour as a character, but her character was an actress on a press tour. So she'd come out with these like long blonde wigs and these like little outfits, and she'd like flirt with the hosts and be like, "Oh my God, do you want to ask about my movie?" Or like, "Oh my God, I didn't know I was wearing such a tiny outfit. My bad." Like she'd do all these little things, like little send-ups of what actresses do.
Yeah.
And I think the Duncan thing is because everyone's obsessed with those little bejeweled Coke bags at the moment.
Yeah.
Have you seen those? Everyone's carrying those. That's the new thing to be holding. And so she went the Duncan way. It's like her and Ben Affleck flying the Duncan flag.
It's very meta. Did she talk about how she was going to sing?
Yeah, and I hope
Yeah,
she does.
she was like, I'm
God, I hope
I'm
that's
performing
true.
tonight. I'm so nervous about performing tonight. Can I please mention my favourite?
What's your fave?
Ricky Martin.
He looks good.
Oh my God, he looks so good. It was so funny. We were in the office earlier talking about all the red carpet arrivals and he's wearing this very low cut shirt. And some of the girls were like, was he like always gay? And I was like, you don't remember the whole coming out of Ricky Martin? And I was like, you don't remember that Ricky Martin was like every girl's heartthrob? And they were like, no. And I was like, damn, I'm old.
And he's still got it.
He does still look good.
He looks amazing and I love it.
And we touched on this quickly before we wrap this moment, the Lady Gaga thing.
Yes.
She wasn't supposed to be there, right? And then she was supposed to be there and then
Yeah.
she pre-recorded something, but then she appeared, but then she disappeared. What is that woman doing?
So there were conflicting reports because she has her Mayhem Ball, currently her tour going on, and there's a show tonight at Madison Square Garden. So she'd recorded her performance from Madison Square Garden and they're going to air that. So it's a live performance but pre-recorded. That's the deal with that. Then she wasn't on the red carpet, so all the reports come out. She's not coming, and then next minute she's sitting next to Ariana Grande in the crowd in this massive black feathery ensemble. Then she gets up, she does her speech, she wins Artist of the Year, and then she's like, gotta go.
Yeah. Peace out.
Gotta go,
I'm
guys.
leaving.
I got a concert
I think
to
they
perform.
would have told her, hey, you're actually going to win. And so the power
Please
of Lady
come.
Gaga that they moved her to the front and she would have walked off that stage straight out the door and into her car.
Into her
and
jet.
left.
Can you imagine like the process of her getting ready would have taken longer than she was actually at the awards show? Because that ensemble was full Princess of Darkness.
Yes.
Like.
But the photos, they live forever.
So, Tina, we are going to keep you here for one more segment because this has been flagged by you, this particular story, and it is Chris Evans and his supposed return to the Marvel Universe. Now, he was spotted at TIFF, which is the Toronto International Film Festival, for his new movie Sacrifice, and hot damn did he look great. He was buff as hell.
He looks so beautiful in that tight T-shirt.
Very tight T-shirt.
that
He's
man.
like nerdy glasses and looking very cute. But I was doing a bit of a timeline look for you because the speculation is that he's going to return to Avengers Doomsday, which is premiering next year. But his last performance as an Avenger was in Endgame, where he kind of returns back to the past. He returns the Infinity Stones, and that was kind of supposed to be the end of his story.
Yeah.
But there's been constant speculation.
Yes, I'm here to spread a rumor today, and I'm excited about it. Chris Evans made a big to-do about I'm done. He was like, maybe one day, but I'm done. My time has passed. I'm moving on from Marvel. That's his deal. And we're not happy, but it's fine. So he went away from Marvel and he was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go do other things. And then he weirdly made an appearance in Ryan Reynolds' movie.
Yeah, but
That
that
was
was
his Fantastic Four character. And it was
Yeah.
fun and it was a brief cameo. And we were all like, okay, sure. But my man Chris Evans was recently, as we loved, in Materialist. Not everybody loved that movie. We loved it. So on the press tour for Materialist, which is like May, June, he was giving us a look that was more like 90s renovation host than Marvel superhero. He was wearing a lot of plaid. He looked a bit more slinky. He had a beard. He looked great. Then his film Honey Don't went on the press tour, which is another movie that we're all excited about, starring Aubrey Plaza and Margaret Qualley, and he was nowhere to be seen for this press tour.
And what was his excuse, Tina Burke?
So he didn't go to the Cannes Film Festival for the first premiere, and it was his mum's birthday. He couldn't make it, but that was in May.
He's used that mum excuse before. How many birthdays does this woman get to have?
I don't believe this excuse.
So he is a mama's boy famously, and
That's very true.
The reports were around. They're like, "Oh, Chris Evans is at his mum's birthday. How sweet's that?" But then we get to the rest of the press cycle, right? They're doing the junkets. There's more screenings. They're doing interviews, and he is nowhere to be seen. And what is filming around the same time as that is Avengers Doomsday. Now, if you don't know, Avengers Doomsday, there are nearly 30 returning stars from Marvel coming into this. So it's like Florence Pugh, Pedro Pascal, James Marsden, but also a lot of the OGs like Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, and of course Chris Evans' two besties, Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan, are also returning.
Yeah, so Anthony Mackie is the new Captain America.
Yeah.
So it's like, is Chris Evans going to be coming back as Captain America?
Yeah.
But because this whole Avengers Doomsday is like starting a new timeline, because we've got Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
And so he's not Iron Man anymore. This is a whole new universe. So potentially he could come back in as anything.
Yeah. So pretty much originally he was like asked about it in June and he goes, "It's sad not to be back with the band, but I'm sure they're doing something incredible." And he keeps playing this that like he's not involved. He's denying it. He's vehemently denying it. Then we find out that Captain America's wife, which is Peggy Carter, played by Hayley Atwell, has allegedly been filming in August on the set, pictured on the set of Avengers Doomsday. And this kind of makes everyone go, maybe Chris is coming back. And then when he arrives at TIFF on the weekend and we see that man bulked up and beardless, he has shaved his beard, people.
He's put the cap
He
look
has
back
put
on.
the cap look back on. He is looking phenomenal. And I have to say, I was watching the tweets. I was watching the videos. I had my eye on this. And my favorite one is someone who was like, I was sitting very close to him in the front row and Chris Evans is absolutely back for Doomsday or Secret Wars because he was jacked in real life. Like, shockingly so. People around me in the audience were gagged.
And he always says he only does that, as every actor says, he only does that for those roles because it's unmaintainable to live like that. And we also know that Cap and Peggy's kids are going to be in this.
Yes.
Is the room on the street. So even if he's not fully back in the full timeline or the merging timeline or anything like that, it could be a flashback to their life, which we never saw.
Yeah.
I kind of hate it.
I look, I feel like Marvel has really gone off the rails. I love it because I quite love an Avengers movie, but it's all of these new universes and like alternates and all of that. It's very confusing for my small little brain.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I really loved Thunderbolts this year, which kind of brought us back to like, oh, superheroes saving people. Like it was that bit smaller. You didn't need to know the context of everything.
Yeah.
But Doomsday is going to be bringing together Avengers, Thunderbolts, Wakandans, Fantastic Four, and the X-Men.
Okay, so
That's
also
a lot
with
of
the
people.
X-Men, they're recasting basically everyone apart from Professor X and Magneto, which is famously Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen as Magneto, who were like the OGs, which they didn't recast. So I'm very confused.
Yeah.
Well, in all the little end scenes, it explains how like the different timelines are merging and
intersect.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just I understand what they're doing and I understand that Marvel was faltering in this new phase, but I'm a little disappointed in Robert Downey Jr. I know he's doing it for the money and I know he's doing it because the Russo brothers put an emergency call to him and was like, we need you. But him coming back as Dr. Doom, I don't love.
I don't love that
It feels a
either.
bit cheap and gimmicky and
Yeah.
it's like you've got to back your new cast. And yeah, Chris Evans, I don't hate. I just think
You're like, this is too many people.
No. I want to see that. I just want my original. I'm an old school. I just want all my original Avengers back on screen together. But I know that's not going to happen. I don't mind seeing a glimpse of his life with Peggy, or I don't mind him and Sam having a moment and him and Bucky having a moment. But if he comes back in some alternate timeline, he comes back as a villain. He comes back as because this whole thing of like different villains wearing different faces. That's a wasted Chris Evans cameo.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling like perhaps because of the timeline of the fact that they were filming and then if he's allegedly been on set and he has been missing for some time, if he has been on set, he's kind of on the tail end of it. So I'm sort of like, is it that he's going to be in the end of this and they're going to line him up for the next film?
Potentially. And it's also so secretive because with these movies and with Doomsday, like with Avengers, they had 3 sets going simultaneously. So no one, even the people in the movie don't know who else is in the movie. And this time they've got about 4 sets I was hearing going. Yeah. So it's possible that he and Hayley Atwell, who plays Peggy Carter, filmed their little scene and then he had to get jacked for that, but no one else in the movie even knows, so they can keep it a secret.
And let's not forget all the decoy scripts they leave lying around. Like, again, my tiny little brain cannot comprehend all of these changes. But I love this theory, Tina. I think I'm on board with it.
Important to spread rumors, and when someone looks to me like they've been spending 7 to 10 hours in the gym a day, and they are famously only that hot when they play America's ass, I have things to say.
And also, he wanted to prove himself as a proper actor, and he feels now that boy feels like he did that with Materialist.
Well, I mean,
so maybe that's going to bring him back around.
Well, he did, but also at TIFF for this screening where he looked so fantastic, he did get asked about, was it too close to home to play a failing actor on screen? And I was like, leave that man alone. He's trying.
And the movie got panned too.
It has, but his performance has been lauded as like very comedic, very fun. Yeah. People are really enjoying him only in this movie. And like I say, bring him back to stardom. I love that man. Let him shine.
Let that poor, handsome white man, give him a break.
Give him a break. If you are listening, Russo brothers, God damn it, more Captain America.
So late last week, a photo was posted of Princess Catherine, Kate Middleton, whichever name you'd like to call her by. And this shouldn't be a crazy thing because she's one of the most photographed women in the world. So she and Prince William had been on a bit of a summer break with their children. So they hadn't been attending any events. This is the first time we got a proper look at her. And it was at the National History Museum's revamped garden event. Get excited, a very classy event where they were walking around inspecting the new grounds, and as normal, there was heaps of people lined up ready to greet them. And there was one thing about Kate that got people's attention. It was the fact that her hair, her hair is very famous, was looking extra long, extra luscious, and extra blondish, which is a look we've never seen from her before.
Yeah, and it kind of sparked a lot of comments, which we're going to kind of dive into a little bit. Now, the main comments were quite negative. It was a lot of, oh my God, she's wearing a wig. Oh my God, it's too blonde. It doesn't suit her. What's going on? To the point where Princess Di's hairstylist, Sam McKnight, actually posted on Instagram to defend her.
Yes, so the photos went up, and again, photos of Kate and William together always attract a huge amount of attention, especially if their kids are there. But the comments under this, I mean, we posted, all the different outlets posted, and it went all over TikTok, all over every social platform, and the comment section just absolutely blew up. So you had people saying, yes, as you were saying, like, she's definitely wearing a wig, she looks terrible, it's way too blonde. There was different way, depending which way you looked. At the front, it kind of looks very full and curly, which is not unusual for her. From the back, it looked very windswept because she was outside, so it looked like it was parted in a strange way, and it was the blonde. So you had people saying she's wearing a wig, she looks terrible, the colour's terrible. Then you had people jumping in, defending her, saying it's definitely not a wig, and then the conversation escalated to, if it is a wig, how dare you point it out, because obviously she's had a lot of health issues over the last couple of years. And I think people were really thinking back to that moment in time where that whole story of her being missing took over the world, and people thought that there was a decoy being used. They thought she was in hiding. They thought she'd escaped from Prince William, and then she did that video saying that she'd had a cancer diagnosis.
Yeah.
And that's why she was laying low. And then people are saying, like, it's really poor taste, which it is, to not only question a woman's hair but question it when you know that she's been going through health struggles.
Yeah, I mean, the majority of last year she was going through chemotherapy, radiotherapy, which was confirmed by the palace. She never confirmed what kind of cancer she has. She's now in remission. They did announce that earlier this year. But as you know, with chemotherapy, often hair loss is one of the side effects of chemotherapy. There was one report that I saw where she was visiting the hospital and she was talking to a woman who was receiving chemotherapy who was wearing a cold cap. Now, cold capping is when it can help to prevent the hair loss. And the woman actually asked Kate, did you cold cap? And Kate said no. So there is a very real possibility that this woman has lost her hair, which, as we know, has been something that's always been in the press about her, is that she's had really long, beautiful hair. And for many women, that is a really big part of their identity is their hair. So I think a lot of the backlash comes from you're criticizing a woman who has just experienced a really difficult year health-wise. We know she's gone through cancer. We know she's gone through chemotherapy. And now you're drawing attention to her hair, which may or may not be a wig. Like, it felt really icky to me.
And then the other interesting part of that is that then just early this week, more photos came out of her at a different event, and she was back to her more natural, like, kind of light, or the hair color that she had when she first was in the public eye more than a decade ago was that kind of lighter, richer brown. So then people were speculating, has she changed the wig to have a more natural one, or did she go and get was she in like a transitional phase when she was getting her hair color changed, and you know how like you can lighten your hair to darken it and that sort of thing. So speculation is still rife. A couple of points on that is that I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Kate Middleton has worn wigs and hair pieces over the years. That's super common, not just for everyday women. Like I'm sure you have over the years as well, but I've worn so much fake hair because especially if you're on camera or being photographed a lot, natural hair doesn't photograph as well. That's why every single person on TV, in movies, photos, magazines, anyone who's in the public eye, most of the time they're either wearing a wig, they're wearing a topper, or they've got a whole bunch of hair pieces in there. And so I'm sure over the years she has done that to bulk out her hair, but also to protect her hair from that crazy amount of heat styling that would take place if you're in the public eye every day. So maybe she's wearing hair pieces like she always has, but this time they were just a slightly different color, and because people are more attuned to like her body at the moment, it blew up. But I always just think with hair, it's like, it just is a sensitive topic, as you were saying, as a woman's body, but is kind of a bit more fair game to comment on. And I think Kate's hair has become a big thing off the back of her cancer diagnosis. Even with Jada Pinkett Smith, when that blew up a few years, like people thought she was shaving her head as a big fashion statement. And that was a whole thing of Chris Rock at the Oscars making that comment about her hair, Will Smith slapping him, and later on her saying, I have alopecia and that's why I've had to wear my hair, like I've chosen not to wear a wig to cover it up, and I'm just going out into the world like this, but it's really difficult. We see some actresses as they get older too have to sort of have these conversations around thinning hair, and like they haven't talked about it, but like Sarah Jessica Parker and Nicole Kidman, just as like two actresses off the top of my head, over the years have faced like a lot of allegations about wearing a lot of hair pieces, wearing so many wigs, and people are like, well, their hair was so thick, why is it this now, and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, your hair does thin as you get older.
It does.
And I can understand why they're not wanting to have that conversation. Like they're just putting the wig on and like never sort of addressing it in any way.
Also, texturally, hair changes as you age. So the more greys you get, which don't have the melanin in it, when it doesn't have the color in it, it becomes coarser. So your hair texture changes as you get older too. So that affects people as well. But I think that the discourse around it, and just to kind of throw a little bit of a spanner in the works here, people who are defending Kate Middleton, which I definitely would be, like, I don't think it's fair to criticize her, particularly with what we know about how her last year health-wise has been. Throwing a little spanner in the works, what about the empathy and compassion that people are showing? Why is that not being shown towards Meghan Markle?
Yeah, that was a thing too, because a lot of people were jumping in, and obviously it's kind of not exactly on the same thing because there's the health diagnosis kind of thrown in there, but it always comes back to that same moment. Like, it was so predictable watching it happen. Is that the photo came up, the comments went crazy, people posted about it, all these big traditional news outlets picked it up and started writing all these articles around the backlash to Kate's hair, and then all of a sudden this other side of the internet came bursting up, as they always do, saying like, how dare you call out this, showing a photo of Kate without calling out this, showing all these photos of Meghan Markle where she's like walking on the beach and her hair's like all, you know, it's got wind and sand in it, or showing her hair looking a bit stringy, or showing her hair looking a bit flat, and immediately having to draw that line. And the other thing too is, like, if you're a woman of color, especially in Hollywood and stuff, and especially in the public eye, that's always been a huge thing of like telling women that they won't be attractive if they're women of color, of showing their natural hair, saying that they have to wear wigs or hair pieces or have it straightened, or not having someone on set who knows how to do textured hair. And so I just thought that was a terrible line of shaming a woman who's had cancer for her hair by drawing a direct line to a woman of color and what her hair looks like. It was just a bad day to be on the internet.
I think it's because the Meghan Markle, you know, loyalists will try and be like, well, look, you can't say this about her and then not say that about her. Again, I totally agree with you. It's a very, very different situation. I think Kate Middleton is obviously going through a lot right now. I mean, we saw it at first before they actually announced the cancer diagnosis, you know, the Mother's Day photo debacle last year where she photoshopped photos. She had to come out and say, yes, I photoshopped them because I edited my pictures, maybe because she wasn't looking well. But both of them are under such scrutiny. In fact, the whole royal family, particularly the women in the royal family, are under such scrutiny that no matter what they do, whether they're quiet or they speak out, they're going to be criticized for it. And I think in this instance, it's best to show some compassion and empathy for someone who doesn't want to deal with something as personal as a cancer treatment with the entire world.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, because some people said crazy things when they thought that she had been replaced with a body double or stuff like that. And honestly, some of those rumors, looking back on them, are absolutely crazy. So I think now people are going too far the other way of like, don't leave her alone, don't say anything. But there's also the possibility that the woman just wanted a different hair color for summer. There's also, like, she's probably just sitting in her palace right now with William sitting in the corner, like being very unhelpful, being like, it was summer, I was out and about, like I just wanted to like lighten my hair and try it. I've had the same hair for the last 20 years. We've all had a blonde stage in our life. We just mostly do it in your very early 20s, which I think she did as well. Like, there's photos of her with the wild streaks that everyone gets in their early 20s. But there's a possibility she and her hairdresser just sat down to do some maintenance, and she was like, I want a new look. and she went a bit blonder than normal and potentially it photographed strangely or weirdly.
Yeah.
And now everyone's gone crazy over that.
Yeah, I also saw it from a couple of different angles and it didn't look as blonde as some of the photos.
It was just also
earlier.
more ringlety than she normally does.
Yeah, and it was
again,
bigger at the crown. So
Yeah.
I think that's why I think because of the bulkiness at the crown of their head is why people were speculating it was a wig. But even if it was,
God forbid the woman try and
who gives anyway, who gives a shit? But let's talk about it for 10 minutes.
I know. Well, that's important for us because we're living vicariously through Kate Middleton's hair. But then the sad thing is that she potentially tried something different and then she's put it straight back.
Yeah.
So people put the fear of God into her and she'll probably never try any. And what world is this if Kate Middleton can't experiment with her hair?
I know, she looked beautiful. She went to a rugby game and she had the sort of slicked back, more brunette, chestnutty colour.
Yeah.
And she did look beautiful.
I know she can't, but I would love her to just step out now in like a platinum Bon wig, a red wig, a bald cap, a buzz cut, a long black Morticia Adams. Like if I know she can't because she's the new Queen of England, but or will be the Queen of England, but I would just love her to just go crazy with the wigs to kind of
and
like
maybe some
throw people.
maybe some really, really long nails that aren't beige.
Yeah, just to throw people. I mean, that was the big takeaway from Meghan Markle's Netflix show is like the only thing she said about the royal family is that she couldn't really fit in because she couldn't wear beige pantyhose every day. And I was like, I 100% think that you severed your ties with the royal family
over pantyhose.
Like, women can't live like that. So either way, Kate Middleton looks great. People on the internet are crazy. Just another day.